Hello, aspiring biologists. Welcome to an exciting journey into the world of Five Kingdom classification and a very special topic, antibiotics. Today, we'll explore these life-saving medicines, starting from the basics and gradually diving into their complex mechanisms, challenges, and future. Get ready to unlock the secrets of how tiny microbes help us fight infections across 4 levels of understanding. Ready to discover how some simple substances can become our greatest defenders against disease? So, what exactly are antibiotics? Imagine tiny superheroes in a bottle. Antibiotics are special medicines designed to combat infections caused by bacteria, which are microscopic living things. Interestingly, many of these powerful drugs come from other microorganisms, like certain molds or even some bacteria themselves, who use them as a natural defense mechanism. Their main job is either to kill these harmful bacteria directly or to stop them from growing and multiplying, giving our body's own immune system a crucial advantage to win the fight. How do these tiny heroes work? Well, antibiotics are very smart. They are built to attack only parts of bacterial cells that are different from our human cells. This clever design ensures they can destroy the invaders without harming us. It's super important to remember that antibiotics are specific to bacteria. They don't work against viruses, which cause illnesses like the common cold or flu, nor do they fight fungal infections. Their discovery has been a game changer, saving countless lives. For example, penicillin, the first true antibiotic, came from a mold called Penicillium and revolutionized medicine. Now, let's test your understanding. Take a moment to answer these 3 questions. First, what is the primary function of an antibiotic? Second, name one type of microorganism that naturally produces antibiotics. And third, do antibiotics work against viral infections like the common cold? Think about why or why not. Good luck! Ready to dig deeper into the fascinating story of antibiotics, from an accidental discovery to a medical marvel? The journey of antibiotics began with a stroke of luck. In 1928, Alexander Fleming, a Scottish scientist, made an accidental but monumental discovery. He noticed a strange mold growing on a culture plate of Staphylococcus bacteria. What was truly remarkable was that around this mold, the bacteria couldn't grow. Fleming quickly realized the mold, which he identified as Penicillium notatum, was producing a substance that could kill bacteria, and he named it penicillin. Despite his groundbreaking observation, purifying and producing enough penicillin for widespread medical use proved to be a significant challenge for him. The potential of penicillin truly blossomed thanks to the dedicated work of Howard Florey, Ernst Chain, and Norman Hetley at Oxford University in the late 1930s and early 1940s. They successfully purified penicillin and demonstrated its incredible effectiveness in treating infections, first in mice and then in humans. Their efforts paved the way for the mass production of penicillin, which became an invaluable resource during World War II, saving countless lives from wound infections. This marked a turning point in medicine, ushering in the age of antibiotics. Antibiotics employ various strategies to fight bacteria. Some are bactericidal, meaning they directly kill bacteria. For instance, penicillins work by preventing bacteria from building strong cell walls, causing them to burst. Others are bacteriostatic, which means they stop bacteria from growing and multiplying, allowing our body's immune system to finish them off. Tetracyclines, for example, inhibit protein synthesis in bacteria. These different mechanisms, like inhibiting cell wall formation, protein synthesis, or even DNA replication, allow antibiotics to selectively target bacteria without harming our own cells. Time to reinforce your knowledge with 5 practice questions. First, who is credited with the initial discovery of penicillin? Second, explain the difference between bactericidal and bacteriostatic antibiotics. Third, name 2 ways antibiotics work to fight bacterial infections. Fourth, why was the purification and mass production of penicillin significant during World War II? And finally, can antibiotics be used to treat infections caused by fungi? Explain your answer. Think carefully about these questions. Let's elevate our understanding. We are about to explore the complexities of antibiotics, including resistance and their place in the biological world. Antibiotics come in different forms: broad spectrum and narrow spectrum. Broad spectrum antibiotics are like generalists. They're effective against a wide array of bacteria, both gram-positive and gram-negative. They are often used when the specific bacterial culprit is unknown. Amoxicillin is a common example. On the other hand, narrow-spectrum antibiotics are specialists. They target only a particular type or group of bacteria. These are preferred when the infection-causing bacteria has been identified, as they minimize disruption to the beneficial bacteria in our bodies. Penicillin G, which primarily targets gram-positive bacteria, is a good example. Choosing the right type is crucial for effective treatment and preventing resistance. A major challenge today is antibiotic resistance. This happens when bacteria evolve and develop the ability to survive treatments that would normally kill them. This dangerous phenomenon is largely driven by the overuse and misuse of antibiotics, such as taking them for viral infections or not completing a prescribed course. The consequences are severe. Resistant infections are much harder to treat, often requiring stronger drugs, longer hospital stays, and tragically, leading to increased illness and death. It's a global health crisis that demands our attention. Bacteria develop resistance through clever mechanisms. One way is by producing enzymes, like beta-lactamases, that chemically break down the antibiotic, rendering it useless. Another method involves efflux pumps, which are bacterial proteins that actively pump the antibiotic out of the cell before it can do any harm. Bacteria can also modify the antibiotic's target site, such as their ribosomes or cell wall components, so the drug can no longer bind effectively. Finally, some bacteria alter their outer membrane, reducing its permeability and preventing the antibiotic from even entering the cell. In the context of the five-kingdom classification, antibiotics are produced by organisms in Monera and fungi to fight bacteria, also Monera. Now, challenge yourself with 7 thought-provoking questions. First, differentiate between broad-spectrum and narrow-spectrum antibiotics with an example for each. Second, define antibiotic resistance and explain 2 ways human actions contribute to its development. Third, describe 2 distinct mechanisms by which bacteria can become resistant to antibiotics. Fourth, identify 2 kingdoms from the 5-kingdom classification that are known to produce antibiotics. Fifth, why is it generally recommended to use narrow-spectrum antibiotics over broad-spectrum ones when the causative bacteria is known? Sixth, what are superbugs and why are they a major concern in modern medicine? And finally, how does the concept of interkingdom biological warfare relate to the production and action of antibiotics? Prepare to delve into the deepest layers of antibiotic science, from molecular mechanisms to global health strategies and cutting-edge engineering insights. This is where we connect biology to real-world impact. The pre-antibiotic era was a grim period where bacterial infections were often death sentences. The advent of antibiotics in the 1940s marked a golden age, drastically reducing mortality from diseases like pneumonia and tuberculosis, and enabling complex medical procedures previously deemed impossible. This revolution shifted medicine from palliative care to curative intervention. At the molecular level, antibiotics exhibit remarkable specificity. Beta-lactams, for instance, inhibit bacterial cell wall synthesis by targeting penicillin-binding proteins, PBPs, enzymes crucial for peptidoglycan cross-linking, a structure absent in human cells, ensuring their selective toxicity. Beyond cell walls, other antibiotics target distinct bacterial processes. Protein synthesis inhibitors like tetracyclines bind to bacterial 70S ribosomes, preventing tRNA attachment, while macrolides inhibit translocation. These are selective because eukaryotic ribosomes are ATS. Nucleic acid synthesis inhibitors, such as fluoroquinolones, target bacterial DNA gyrase and topoisomerase IV, essential for DNA replication. Cell membrane disruptors like polymyxins interact with bacterial lipopolysaccharide, compromising membrane integrity. Understanding these precise molecular interactions is key to designing effective and selective antimicrobial agents, a challenge that increasingly involves engineering solutions to outwit evolving bacterial defenses. Antibiotic resistance is a striking example of natural selection in action. Exposure to antibiotics creates a powerful selective pressure, favoring resistant bacteria that survive and multiply. This resistance is genetically based, either through spontaneous mutations or, more significantly, through horizontal gene transfer, HGT. HGT occurs via transformation, where bacteria pick up naked DNA, transduction, where bacteriophages transfer genes, and conjugation, direct plasmid transfer between bacteria. These mechanisms allow resistance genes to spread rapidly through bacterial populations, even across different species. In natural ecosystems, microorganisms produce antibiotics as a form of chemical warfare to gain a competitive edge, highlighting the ancient evolutionary roots of these compounds. The antibiotic discovery pipeline has traditionally relied on bioprospecting soil microbes, followed by chemical modification. However, the dwindling rate of new discoveries and the rise of multidrug-resistant superbugs necessitate innovative approaches. Modern engineering insights include rational drug design, using computational models to tailor molecules to specific bacterial targets. Synthetic biology offers the potential to engineer new antibiotic compounds or even design bacteriophages for targeted bacterial destruction, known as phage therapy. This global health crisis demands a One Health approach, recognizing the interconnectedness of human, animal, and environmental health, alongside robust policy interventions like antibiotic stewardship and international collaboration to safeguard these vital medicines for future generations. Let's tackle the first 5 challenging questions. First, compare and contrast the mechanisms of action for beta-lactam antibiotics and fluoroquinolones, highlighting their specific bacterial targets and why they are selective for bacteria. Second, explain the concept of the golden age of antibiotics and discuss its profound impact on human health and medical practices. Third, describe the 3 main mechanisms of horizontal gene transfer in bacteria and explain how each contributes to the rapid spread of antibiotic resistance. Fourth, discuss the One Health approach in the context of antibiotic resistance, explaining why it is crucial for effective management. Fifth, how do bacteria in natural ecosystems utilize antibiotics, and what implications does this have for bioprospecting for new antimicrobial compounds? Now, let's move on to the final 5 questions, pushing your analytical skills further. Sixth, elaborate on the fitness cost associated with antibiotic resistance and explain why, despite this cost, resistant strains often thrive in the presence of antibiotics. Seventh, detail the challenges faced in the traditional antibiotic discovery pipeline and outline at least 2 modern engineering or synthetic biology approaches being explored to overcome these challenges. Eighth, what are penicillin-binding proteins or PBPs, and why are they significant targets for a major class of antibiotics? Ninth, analyze the potential ecological impacts of widespread antibiotic use in agriculture on environmental microbial communities and the global resistome. And finally, propose 3 distinct policy interventions that governments can implement to combat the rise of antimicrobial resistance, justifying each intervention. And that concludes our in-depth exploration of antibiotics, a truly fascinating and critical topic in biology and global health. From their discovery to the complex challenges of resistance and the promise of future innovations, you've journeyed through multiple layers of understanding. We hope this session has sparked your curiosity and deepened your appreciation for the intricate world of microorganisms and medicine. For more engaging and comprehensive educational content, visit synapse.omaps.in. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more exciting lessons. Keep learning, keep exploring, and keep questioning the world around you.